Mumler was famously put on trial for his spirit photographs. And this is one of the first moments where photographic reality is called into question.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most famous historical images that were faked or staged and successfully deceived people around the world.
So using plastic, wood, and a toy submarine that create this model of a creature with a long neck and a small head.
Number 10. The Levitation of Colin Evans. In the early 20th century, Welsh spiritualist medium Colin Evans toured the UK, conducting seances in large, completely dark halls. Evans claimed he could levitate with the help of spirits, and he took flash-illuminated pictures as evidence of his abilities. In June 1938, the Daily Mirror published one such photo, showing Evans apparently floating in the air. The image quickly spread his fame and attracted curious crowds eager to witness it for themselves. However, skeptics soon noticed that Evans was holding a cord in all his photos and that his feet appeared blurry. This led them to the conclusion that he had simply jumped in the dark and taken the picture of himself mid-air. Number 9. Hippolyte Bayard's self-portrait as a drowned man. History has been shaped by several well-known rivalries, but some have remained largely overlooked, including that between photography pioneers Louis Daguerre and Hippolyte Bayard. Although Daguerre is celebrated as a father of photography, Bayard claims to have invented his own photographic process first. Allegedly, the secretary of the French Academy of Sciences, who was a friend of Daguerre, convinced Bayard to delay announcing his discovery. This allowed Daguerre to get the recognition ahead of him. Frustrated by this perceived injustice, Bayard created the first staged photograph, in which he appears to have taken his own life. It even included a final note mocking the government for being too generous to Monsieur Daguerre. Eventually, it was found that Bayard was, in fact, still alive. Number 8. Incoming waves of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. The 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami was one of the deadliest natural disasters in history, claiming over 200,000 lives across 14 countries.
Imagine a line of 1,000 kilometers of water being lifted vertically.
In its aftermath, a picture began circulating on the internet, purportedly showing the massive tsunami waves, moments before they hit the coast of Phuket, Thailand. The image spread far and wide, striking fear into the hearts of many, but it was later discovered to have been photoshopped. Experts pointed out several discrepancies, such as the waves being far larger than those that actually hit Thailand, and the traffic flow not aligning with the country's norms. In reality, the picture wasn't from Thailand at all. It actually depicted the skyline of Antofagasta, Chile. Number 7. Valley of the Shadow of Death.
This is the first famous photograph of war.
Taken by Roger Fenton in April 1855 during the Crimean War, this photograph is one of the most renowned wartime images. It depicts a barren ravine littered with cannonballs so numerous that they look like scattered pebbles. It's a poignant image that evokes a feeling of emptiness and horror as one contemplates the lives likely lost on that battlefield. Unsurprisingly, it captivated many and has been displayed in numerous art museums and institutes. However, the image is believed to have been staged. On the same day, another picture of the ravine was taken, showing the cannonballs only in the ditch.
Did Fenton clear the cannonballs from the road, or did he put them there himself, as photo historians have alleged?
It is thought that Fenton moved some of them onto the road to exaggerate the sense of terror that the more recognized version conveys.
Well, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. That doesn't tell me which photograph was taken first.
Number 6. Iraq War Hostage. On February 1st, 2005, reports emerged that Iraqi militants had abducted an American soldier named John Adam. This report included a picture which supposedly showed Adam with his hands tied behind his back and a gun to his head. The militants threatened to kill him within 72 hours unless Iraqi prisoners held by the U.S. were released. However, the U.S. military insisted that none of its soldiers in Iraq were missing. The confusion began to clear up when toy manufacturer Dragon Models USA pointed out that the soldier in the picture closely resembled one of their action figures, Cody. By February 2nd, the truth came to light. An unidentified Iraqi man admitted to staging the image using the Dragon Models toy. Number 5. William H. Mumler's spirit photographs. In the late 1860s, America was still recovering from the Civil War, a conflict that claimed up to 1 million lives. Grieving families looked for solace wherever they could find it, and some turned to the photography studio of William H. Mumler. Mumler had accidentally discovered a way to use double exposure to create images that appeared to show spirits. This technique quickly turned into a booming business, attracting numerous customers, including Mary Todd Lincoln, who received a picture with the ghost of her husband, Abraham Lincoln. But while Mumler deceived many with his ruse, he also had his skeptics. After some of the supposed spirits were found to still be alive, he was arrested and charged with fraud and larceny.
He was taken to court for fraudulent practices, which he was never convicted of.
Number 4. The Tourist Guy.
Believe that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center.
After the 9/11 attacks, the internet was flooded with conspiracy theories and misinformation. This included a now infamous photograph of a tourist standing on the observation deck of the World Trade Center with an incoming plane in the background. This image appeared to capture the moments just before the plane hit the tower. It spread quickly online, but as more eyes were drawn to it, they began to notice numerous inconsistencies, including the weather, the motion of the plane, and the skyline behind. Eventually, the man was identified as Peter Guzli, a Hungarian tourist who took the original picture in November 1997. Guzli had added the plane as a joke for a few friends, only for the doctored image to unexpectedly go viral. Number 3. Lunch atop a skyscraper. Considered one of the most influential images in history, lunch atop a skyscraper shows 11 construction workers casually eating lunch while sitting on a steel beam high above New York City. Taken in 1932 during the construction of Rockefeller Center, the image has become a lasting symbol of American resilience and hard work during the Great Depression.
Their attitude, I think their casualness, the indifference to the risk that they're taking is what separates the photograph.
But for all of its influence and renown, the photograph is not as candid as it appears. While the men were actual construction workers perched on the beam, the scene was carefully orchestrated as part of a publicity campaign to promote the new building. Lunch atop a skyscraper may depict a compelling story, but it turns out the picture doesn't tell the whole truth.
The funniest part about the photographs were they were done for publicity.
Number 2. The Surgeon's Photograph. Sightings of the Loch Ness Monster date back to the 7th century, but the first image of the creature didn't emerge until 1934. Known as the Surgeon's Photograph, it appeared to show a long-necked creature rising from the water. The image, which was attributed to London surgeon Robert Kenneth Wilson, fueled widespread belief in the monster's existence.
Immediately after the photo was published, the British public began speculating on the nature of this mysterious beast.
It would take 60 years for it to be revealed that the surgeon's photograph was an elaborate hoax orchestrated by filmmaker M.A. Wetherell. After his earlier claims of finding Nessie footprints were discredited, Wetherell sought revenge by staging the picture. With the help of collaborators, he built a toy submarine, photographed it, and passed it to Wilson, whose reputable profession lent it credibility.
But in reality, it's just a picture of the model floating in the water.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Raising the Flag on Iwo Jima. Captured by Joe Rosenthal on February 23, 1945, raising the flag on Iwo Jima remains one of the most iconic images of World War II.
That was our flag. And I went up not knowing what kind of a picture I would get.
The Pulitzer Prize-winning photograph depicts 6 U.S. Marines raising the American flag on Mount Suribachi during the Battle of Iwo Jima. But not many know that this was the second flag raising that day. The first, involving a smaller flag, occurred several hours earlier and sparked cheers from the Marines that led to them coming under enemy fire. The second, larger flag was hoisted later, and it was this moment that Rosenthal captured. Interestingly, a few months later, a similar image, raising a flag over the Reichstag, was taken in Berlin, which was doctored to heighten the dramatic effect.
See the difference? Caldi superimposed some black smoke from another photo and manipulated the contrast.
What staged or doctored photographs throughout history have managed to fool you? Let us know in the comments below.
Which photo shows the truth?
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.